Good evening, everyone. So welcome back to the Saturday evening show. This is not a TV show. This is not any chat show, but this is a show where we start unraveling ourselves, where we start understanding ourselves, and where we try to explore how we can make better of ourselves. So that's what the series of webinars, which has been brought forward to all of us by the India Exposition Mart. I'm very happy to invite the chairman of India Exposition Mart, Shree Rakesh Kumarji, who is present with us for today's webinar with the three extraordinary senior most faculties who have changed so many things in the lives of people across the world as panelists. Dr. H.R. Nagendra ji, with love, all of us call Guruji. We have Guruji with us today for the webinar. Welcome to you, Guruji, for the webinar. And we have Dr. David Frawley, also more known as Vamadeva Shastri ji, joining us from New Mexico. And we will have wonderful insights for today. Topic on healing from within. Welcome to you, Vamadeva Shastri ji. And the other panelist for today is Dr. Sanjay Raghav. He is a mixture and combination of medicine on one side and spirituality on the other side. So all three panelists make something common and special is their spiritual links. So with a brief note of welcoming all the panelists and the chairman, I request Rakesh ji to give his introductory remarks.
Namaskar, Dr. Manjunath ji. Thank you, Dr. Manjunath ji. Your kind support is always welcome. Most respected Guruji, Acharya David Frawley ji and Dr. Sanjay Raghav ji. Pranam from IML and EPCH family. In 23rd Inco-Faira, Bengaluru, Guruji had given me the responsibility to expand Ayuryog Expo 2020, a word assembly on Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy. The idea of Ayuryog Expo, a word assembly on Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, was conceived by our Guruji, Dr. S. Nagendra ji, and executed at India International Exposition Mart Limited, Greater Noida, at the international level to benefit the mankind under his blessings and guidance. Thank you, Guruji, for inspiring us. Your great scientific journey to meditational journey from NASA to S-VYASA, from west to east, enlightened us and the entire World Assembly. In last few days, we saw you discussing COVID-19 pandemic with our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, through video conferencing. It is your efforts and the hard work of Ayush Ministry that today our traditional medicine system is standing strong against COVID-19. In fact, for the sake of humanity, in the crisis, you have been organizing synchronized global prayers under the banner of IYA. We all are really thankful to you. Acharya David Frawley, who does not know you, you are the renowned expert of Vedas, Hinduism, Yoga, Ayurveda, and Vedic Astrology. You are honored by the Government of India with the Padma Bhushan, the second highest civilian award in India. We have received enormous response for this webinar, Healing from Within. But technology has its own limitations. Those who did not receive registration link or password can go to VIII page and can see all the program. At this time, I also welcome our esteemed panelist, Dr. Sanjay Raghav ji, who is present with us today and agreed to spare his invaluable time to share his experience and knowledge with us. Now let us start with the webinar. So I request Dr. Manjunath ji to please take forward the deliberation. Thank you very much and welcome all the audience for sparing their time to be with us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rakesh ji. It's a great pleasure indeed. You have created a platform for not just for the practitioners, but for those who are going to use it. So we are going to take it to the greater heights And today is yet another day for us to start understanding the most important aspect of medicine. Because in medicine, we all think that there are bigger roles being played by doctors, and we are just available for doctors to heal us. But the history goes to thousands of years back, which talks about healing from within as the primary source of medical management. Before we go to the nitty-gritties of today's webinar, I request the organizers, as mentioned by Rakesh Kumarji, that this whole journey of bringing all the practitioners together and all the followers together was done last year. We have a very small clip, video clip for all of you to see from the World Assembly of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy. Request the organizers to play the video, please.
Here we want to integrate the three systems and the entire Ayush system into a comprehensive whole. And this will lead to integration of allopathy and Ayush in future to come. Yoga means process of joining, union. What are we going to join? Small individual personality we are. We have to expand our personality and merge with the totality, raising ourselves from our normal level to become great human beings, superhuman beings, divine human beings, and reach that perfection itself.
That's the glimpse for you. We are all ready to have much bigger event this time in October. Hopefully, everything comes down to its normalcy as early as possible, whereby we can bring in this heritage in a bigger platform in Greater Noida at India Exposition Mart, probably in October, November. So with this, I welcome all the panelists for today's webinar. As I said, the discussion forum is on healing from within. In India, we have Ayush systems of medicine comprising of 6 systems of traditional healing methods, which includes Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy as one system of medicine. We have Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy and Sawaringpa as the remaining systems of medicine. Yoga and Naturopathy stands out as completely drugless systems of healing. Hence, they are together and they contribute to lifestyle as well as the overall well-being of an individual as well as disease management. So today, the topic we are going to discuss is healing from within. In naturopathy, there is a saying that nature heals, not the physician. And when nature is healing, physician provides a helping hand to the nature to take this course to a logical conclusion of reaching a healthy status. To talk on this topic, first I invite none other than our beloved Guruji. As Rakesh ji explained, the best way to narrate Guruji or simply explain, give a brief about Guruji is NASA to Vyasa. Okay, so somebody who was in NASA left everything, working at Harvard, working at Imperial College in London, and of course British Columbia, University of British Columbia, to join as a life worker at Vivekananda Kendra, Kanyakumari, and then starting a research-based organization to promote yoga with evidence-based approach. So Guruji has been responsible for n number of such initiatives in the country, and including the whole process of bringing a bigger evolution of yoga into the global platform. Request Guruji to give your viewpoint on this most important topic of healing from within. Guruji, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manjunath. I congratulate Rakesh Kumar for organizing this wonderful webinar, bringing people from United States and Australia. We had our wonderful David Frawley one side and Sanjay Raghav from Melbourne. We are so happy that the three countries have joined together to bring this webinar. As rightly Manjunath mentioned, we have the topic for today's discussion is healing from within. And particularly in the context of the present crisis of COVID, this has started becoming eminent to people at large. So the modern medical world has given a solution of social distancing and the remedies to see that it doesn't spread. And particularly in our country, our Honorable Prime Minister Nagendra Modi ji has been able to achieve it with such accuracy, such greatness, that India is the least affected among all the countries in the world with this COVID. And that has been made possible because of the strong administration and implementing the process of distancing, social distancing. People have been locked in the houses and quarantines and the hospital, and the least number of deaths in the whole country with 1.3 billion population in the whole country. But at the same time, I have been telling that the Ayush system should come into picture, and particularly the yoga plays a very important role in dealing with this crisis, COVID. So I have been telling that the most important dimension to deal with COVID for prevention and also to deal is to strengthen our immune system. It is well known that stress has an immunosuppressant factor, a wrong lifestyle, sleeping very late in the night, getting up very late in the morning, and eating all types of junk foods and whatnot, and all types of animal foods, and very stressful whole day, running all the time. We don't know where we are running, why we are running, what is the goal. So this changed lifestyle of the modern era of science and technology has a great immunosuppressant factor. Stress, what we are talking, is not merely physical. It ranges to physical, mental restlessness, emotional upsurges, deep-rooted psychological conflicts, apart from the physical things that we all have been addressing ourselves. So this suppresses the immune system and weakens the white blood cells and the natural killer cells, and therefore we succumb to infection and as the virus. So what is the remedy from within, the healing from within, is to see that we keep our immune system very strong. When you look at the overall scenario, the coronavirus is one of the biggest among the viruses that we have encountered today in the world. But compared to the WBC, the white blood cells, the size is very, very small. And if it is one microthing, the virus, and this is almost 100 times more. And therefore, in size, WBC is very, very big. Number-wise, the number of viruses that we get may be 1 million, if not less, but the WBCs are in billions. So we have largest number of WBCs and natural killer cells that are available to vanquish our corona if it comes into the picture. But the WBCs and the natural killer cells should have proper direction to decipher who is a friend, who is the enemy, and also keep up their strength and normal way of defense. But unfortunately, with immune suppression, the rightful capacity, the sensitivity of the immune system to recognize the infectious germs from outside and the coronaviruses and other things get distorted. Funnily and jocularly, I've been telling that our immune system will get attracted with a beautiful structure of the corona. Beautiful spherical thing with all horns and others among various viruses. It looks very beautiful. So I've been telling that the immune system thinks there's a great friend. Come on, come in. Let me enjoy, and you're lost. So this in yoga is called the viparya. Viparya is a wrong understanding. A person gets jaundice and thinks the whole world has become yellow. And seeing a ghost in a post, seeing the serpent in a rope, these are all the viparya. Pramana, viparya, vikalpa, nidra, sprutayaha are the 4 dimensions of mind in the thing that have been described in Fatha Yoga Sutra. So it's the viparya that starts in the higher dimensions of mind, comes down to the physical body and brings this wrong notion of the immune system. The second is weakening. Weakening of the WC and also the natural killer cells. It loses its strength. As a result, it cannot. Why? Because of the fear. Oh, something dangerous is coming, something horrible is coming, some big terrorist coming. I can't manage this. All this fear happens. The fear has got a great thing that suppresses our immune system. And as a result, we get succumbed to these things. So what is the way out? In yoga, we have the solution to remove the viparya on one side and to keep the normal strength of the immune system and also to strengthen our immune system more and more. How is it done? By relaxing the system, reducing the stress levels. And stress at all levels, physical, mental, emotional, intellectual level, we have to bring down. And for that, we have wonderful integrated yoga modules that we have. And people, when they start using, then they get very deep relaxation to the body-mind complex. And as a result, the immune system will blossom. The viparya will go away. So, in the context of COVID, we developed very practical, simple, and very effective yoga modules. So only 10 to 15 minutes. We tell to the people that it's a great aid for prevention. And people have to practice 10 or 12 minutes each time and do it 3, 4 times, 5 times. That can bring about the necessary change. And similarly, for people who are already affected by the coronavirus, they have become the positive, who are being treated in the hospital, we have got the simpler practices which can be done in a few minutes, and even lying down on the bed they can do that. So as all of you know, yoga is not merely asanas. It's a science of holistic living, and relaxation is the key essence of the yogasanas. And pranayama is the one that reduces the metabolic rate and can bring deep rest to the system. And meditation, calming down of the mind, silencing of the mind is the key essence. And operating at 3 levels, relaxation at the body level, slowing down of breath at the prana level, and calming down of the mind at the mind level will bring about an integrated system to strengthen our entire immune system by this trifold process, asanas, the pranayama, the meditation. Combining all these things very judiciously, we will be able to deal with such cases. And therefore, we have developed some 4 or 5 modules for people who are in the hospitals having different things. And we started using this in many places. In Vancouver, in Canada, we had a whole family who got stuck with the corona, and using these things, they came out effectively. And in Italy, we had one of the cardiothoracic surgeon who was almost on the deathbed, and he was able to use these things and come out of it. And he has given great superlatives for India, for S-VYASA, and for all our research team. Similarly, in London, we had one of the specialists. He is a surgeon, emergency surgeon, and he also got into the coronavirus, and he was able to come out of these things effectively by using yoga. And many such things are happening today, and hundreds and thousands of people have started using yoga as a preventive and also deal with their positive thing to come out of these things effectively by using the yoga modules. And the basic principle is you strengthen your immune system by reducing the stress levels, by bringing the harmonization, the balance at all the levels. Samatvam yoga buchyate, idi key essence. So it's used as an adjunct to the present modalities of treatment by the modern allopathic system. And since we have no vaccination which is effective or not found the remedial medicine for the COVID, we are still in the dark. And that's why it's increasing more and more in many countries. Therefore, using yoga as an effective adjunct to the treatment modalities that are being offered in the hospital, it can work wonders. And that's the message that we have in this seminar, that we have to heal from within, starting with the mind, the prana, the body. We should bring in the total harmonization, bring the balance, and reduce the stresses at all dimensions, and deal with the multi-dimensional challenge of stress, which is causing the hazards of the modern life. Of course, Ayush system also is based on this consciousness-based approach, which can be used to deal with these things. But the Ministry of Ayush has been able to prescribe a few drugs from Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and other things, and people have started using it. But good clinical trials are necessary to find out the effectiveness of this Ayush system medicine. With these things, once again, I congratulate our Rakesh Kumarji and the entire team for making this webinar a reality, as probably a prelude to the big conference that we are planning in October. Hopefully, if the COVID is out, then we'll do that physically, as we did last time, with thousands and thousands of people coming there. Or if the COVID continues and we are unable to physically join together, probably we'll have webinars like this for continuously many days and bring all the best of the experts in this field. By then, probably we would have a lot more data that we might have taken. And as a part of this entire research, we have now initiated a big survey called COVID Health Assessment Scale, or it has CHAS, C-H-A-S. And we are trying to fill up these things from all quarters. And our Ministry of Ayush, our Secretary Rajesh Kotecha said we must have a target of 50 lakh people. And we should have that pan-India research data that we have to collect. And we are in for it. And we are collaborating all the institutions of the Indian Yoga Association, many universities and hospitals and Ayush systems, everybody coming together to collect the data. A very, very simple CHAS form that we have made, which takes hardly 6-7 minutes for the filling up. And I appeal to all the people to fill up these things, and Rakesh Kumar will be happy to do these things. And we can go to our website in which all these details are available. And we produce a research paper published in the International Journal of Yoga, and it's a PubMed index journal wherein we have been able to show the dimensions involved in the usefulness of yoga as a scientific modality to prevent and to promote the health among the people who are stuck with the COVID things. Thank you once again. Dhanyavad, Rakeshji, and I'm so happy that Sanjay could join us in this late hours of the evening, and our Acharya David Frawley has always been a great inspiration to the people at large for yoga, Ayurveda, astrology, and whatnot. Dhanyavad. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Guruji. I mean, it's always inspiring to listen to you, because we remember if the concepts of yoga therapy have been very well understood today, there's a great deal of contribution which has come from Vyasa and S-VYASA, be it the principle of Panchakosha or the Adi Vyadi as the source, to understand how we can reverse it through the practices of yoga. And there are questions being poured, Guruji, and I'm sure we will take them up immediately after another two panelists give their opinion on all the concepts which you have discussed. We have the second panelist, Dr. David Frawley, as I said, more known as Vamadeva Shastriji. He is the founder of American Institute of Vedic Studies from New Mexico, USA. He has a doctorate in Oriental Medicine from Santa Fe, New Mexico. And he had a wonderful journey of Catholic upbringing to embracing Hinduism and Vedic knowledge. He received a D.Lit, Doctor of Letters from S-VYASA, as well as Ram Manohar Lohia Award University in Faizabad. He is, as Rakesh ji mentioned, he is the recipient of one of the highest civilian awards of the Government of India, Padma Bhushan. If you want to refer to any of the books, traditional books, and relate it to the contemporary today of Ayurveda and Yoga, the contribution of Vamadeva Shastriji stands out significantly, because the number of books David Frawley ji has written, number of articles he has published, and number of institutions he advises are n in number. So without taking much time, request David Frawley ji to give his opinion on the topic, healing from within. Vamadeva Shastriji.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. It is my great honor to be with all of you today. And I'm very happy with the work that Rakesh Kumar has done to get these programs out. And of course, Guruji, Acharya Nagendra, who has been a great inspiration and guide for me. Manjunath for his wonderful moderation. And I'm also happy to be with Dr. Sanjay Raghav. And so I am sending you my greetings from the United States and my home in New Mexico in the mountains here. It is just coming into dawn at this particular time. It is a very crucial time in all humanity. And of course, you know that the virus has affected the world globally. In fact, the virus has mainly affected Western Europe and the Northeastern United States, which are the most progressive, generally speaking, affluent parts of the world today. And India has fared fairly well. India has 18% of the world's population, and so far has less than 1% of the coronavirus deaths. It actually has less than you have in, much less than even a city like New York City, which has been the main focus of that today. Now, I call the coronavirus a selective pandemic because it's not hitting all the populations equally. And in this regard, it's hitting several populations, the elderly, of which I am one now, and basically those above 70, but even above 50 more. And people with predispositions, diseases of various kinds, mainly cardiovascular, pulmonary disorders, circulatory, basically diabetes, hypertension. So people who are already indisposed. And then it's also hitting people who are repeatedly exposed to the virus and people who are working around the virus and stressed. So as Nagendra has said, the main issue we have is weakness of immunity. And that is why the younger population has far fewer cases. However, even the people who come down with the disease and have no symptoms, which is the great majority, can carry it on to other people. So great caution is required. So strengthening immunity is the basic long-term factor of treatment. Short-term factor, you have to deal with the acute symptoms in the people who have the disease overall. Today in America, the hospitals are becoming largely empty because apart from the coronavirus, all the other procedures have stopped. And so it's causing a lot of effect there. Now, in terms of the immediate treatment, there's looking for vaccine and other things which are very important. But for the long-term treatment, we have to look at building up immunity, what is also called ojas in Ayurveda, and the ability to have a positive lifestyle, positive attitude, inner peace, and well-being, and connect to our inner being. In Ayurveda and in yoga, and I always use yoga and Ayurveda together, the ultimate source of prana, which is not simply the breath, but the vital energy, is our own inner being, self, Purusha, Atma, pure consciousness. And the ultimate powers of healing are within us. The issue is getting them into the physical body. And so our health rests upon our long-term behavior, lifestyle, daily routine, our daily diet, herbs, exercise, interaction with other people, work. Yoga sadhana is very important in the process. And of course, also even sleep. If you lose your deep sleep, your Sushupti state, then you're also going to lose a lot of your health and well-being. What Ayurveda offers is, besides the dietary practices to build ojas and strengthen immunity, whole set of herbal remedies for ojas, for rejuvenation, rasayana, Medhya rasayana for the mind. The Ayurvedic doctors can show you all these. There are so many, all this ashwagandha, shatavari, bala, shilajit for the mind, mandukaparni, brahmi, jatamamsi, shankapushpi, and in all special formulations, not just simply taking herbal teas, which is important, but also all these prash and layams and these variety of Ayurvedic preparations that are specially potentized. And we also put a lot of emphasis on the connection of the immune system with the skin. And so all the oil massage, Ayurveda has the best set of and the most detailed set of herbally prepared oils, the tylams, the siddha tylams, that bring the deep healing through the skin directly into the bones, the joints, the muscles, and the nerves. And then, of course, in Ayurveda, we have our disease theory, the doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, keeping these in balance. This particular disease affecting the elderly is affecting more the Vata dosha, but it's also affecting the obese, which is the Kapha dosha primarily. It can hit any doshic type, but these are the primarily ones that they do. And again, anybody who is stressed out via their work or via their exposure to the disease is going to have greater risk of coming down with it. And then we have to remember that immunity is not only individual, it is also collective. And that's why we're talking about the herd immunity, where the society overall gradually develops immunity to different diseases. Now, we are also undergoing this lockdown, which is very important for the physical distancing. It is not just social distancing. We should all keep together socially in the process. But it does help prevent the spread of the virus. At the same time, staying at home, particularly if you're in an apartment, if you're in a city where the air is not always great. Actually, air is better now with the shutdown of so many things. It's not necessarily the most healthy environment. So in the lockdown, we need to do the daily practices, the right diet, the right herbs, yoga, meditation, pranayama, mantra. We have to have the full exposure, movement, and connections that allow us to bring in the healing force of nature. And one of the reasons we have having this problem today is because there is not just the immunity of the individual, there's also the immunity of the society and our species, which has been being degraded. And we also have the immunity of the biosphere, the integrity of the biosphere, which upholds the prana for the planet as a whole. And we cannot expect to be healthy as individuals or as a species if our planet is unhealthy, if our ecosystems are disrupted. So we could say that there's also an ecological factor to the disease. In fact, we can see how the air has improved, the water has improved, as this disease has come on and reduced our human interference with our natural environment. So that must be borne in mind as well. And the coronavirus is not the end of everything. Even, of course, we are going to get over this. As I say, it has some limitations. All these viruses do. It's not easy to make vaccines for them, but we can do it at a helpful level. But in the long run, we have to look at this greater immunity of ourselves and of the society. And here, all the Ayush systems are helpful. We always work with yoga and Ayurveda together. Siddha is closely connected to that. Tibetan medicine is closely connected to that. Naturopathy is also bringing in its own orientation. Unani is a very similar system in many ways. So there is much to offer at that side. And the deeper wisdom that of the rishis on so many levels, the Vedantic idea that we have an inner self, that we have an Atman that is beyond body and mind, that is connected to the forces of immortality, that is not bound by time. We can also connect to that eternal aspect of our timeless being. Here, I always remember the guidance we received from Swami Dayanandaji of Arsha Vidya, who would come to all these events and give us that deeper wisdom as well. We must remember our immortal nature and that that deeper prana from within can be brought out inside of us. And one of the keys is to create a unitary, balanced prana within us, balancing the 5 pranas, balancing the Ida and Pingala, and keeping our attention, our awareness is our ultimate power of healing. It is what is connected to the prana. We say ekagra chitta, one-pointed mind, but I also say ekagra prana, or one-pointed prana, and a very steady, attentive lifestyle, cultivating moment-by-moment awareness, and also cultivating this deeper connection with the prana and with nature. Nature is a healing force. All the Shaktis are there. The earth is a force of healing, connecting not only by taking herbs, but also connecting with the spirit of the plants, the flowers, the herbs, the nature. Puja, sadhana, rituals connecting us to the whole of life, prayer, mantra, meditation, connecting us with the cosmic consciousness overall, developing that deeper inner connection, not only through the physical body and the mind, also through spiritual heart and our deeper consciousness overall. Healing from within, raising consciousness from within to raise all humanity. So I'm very happy these events are going on. I do hope to join you in the fall. I hope this comes up. I actually have my 70th birthday at the end of September, so that would come before this particular event. And I've been connected with S-VYASA for more than 30 years. Greatest institution of yoga in India, center of healing, center of learning for so many, global outreach. We're connecting with them here. And we want to see this Ayush model, this yoga, Ayurveda, all these models expand and grow, be adapted by everyone. You can heal yourself and your immunity long-term. Short-term, we need these more medicines to target specific disease. But have full faith in yourself, have full faith in nature, the divine, the presence around us, the universal consciousness. Life is limited in terms of time. Our inner being is always beyond time, and we can bring that timeless wisdom in. Humanity can be healthy and happy, and we need the wisdom of yoga and Ayurveda to help counter the stress, the tension, all these artificial mechanical energies of the information technology era. We need them, but at the same time, unless we have the natural healing and the spiritual awareness and the yogic consciousness through yoga, Ayurveda and Vedanta, it's going to be very difficult. So let's bring this entire set of wisdom to all humanity. Ayush, Yoga, Vedanta, Dharmic systems, spirituality in all of its forms. And we can definitely use this current crisis to raise the world, to improve our ecology, and to bring a greater awareness and happiness, not only to ourselves, but to all living beings and to the entire planet. Shree Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Tat Sat.
Wonderful, Vamadeva Shastriji. Dear viewers, I can say that if anybody wanted to really understand the universal doctrine Sanatana Dharma, if you heard for the last around 10 minutes from Vamadeva Shastriji, you had the best possible summary of it. So you have put together everything what has to be considered as part of our Sanatana Dharma, bringing the ecology to medicine. We had everything here. And there were many questions which are parallelly being asked. And I was just looking at the questions, but I'm sure through your talk, you have answered many of them already. So because somebody was asking about which particular dosha individuals are more susceptible for infections like corona. And there were many questions like, is there a place for bringing an integration of Vedanta, Ayurveda, then yoga, naturopathy, all of them together? So you have summarized it so well, and we are going to take up many more questions immediately after listening to Dr. Sanjay Raghav. As Guruji was mentioning, we tried bringing the world together for this webinar. So we have somebody from USA, so where the sun has risen. We have Guruji from India, where sun is setting down. And we have Sanjay Raghav from Australia, where if the minute we release him, he is going to go to sleep. It's already very late for him. But it's so wonderful, Dr. Sanjay, that you have agreed to be with us. Just a very brief note for all the viewers that Dr. Sanjay Raghav is an associate professor at RMIT. He's a senior lecturer at Monash University, head of Dandenong Neurology, director at Gala Foundation, one of the most well-known retreats for cancer rejuvenation. And more than anything, he is the greatest follower of Ramana Maharshi tradition. And he is a practitioner of mind-body medicine, specialized in Parkinson's, but conducts retreats and workshops across the world on meditation. We can't get a better combination of all the things, including medicine to meditation, in Dr. Sanjay Raghav. Request Dr. Sanjay Raghav to give your opinion on healing from within. Dr. Sanjay Raghav.
Thank you, Manjunath ji, and thanks Rakesh ji to invite me. And thanks me to be part of exemplary speakers like Guruji and Acharya ji. And whatever little I have learned is from Guruji, you know, whom I know for many years now. And my yoga training was done at S-VYASA. And I'm still associated with S-VYASA in many different forms as a visiting professor and part of PhD students and their exit exams. And I was discussing with Manjunath ji to make that bond more strong with more associations. So look, Guruji and Acharya ji has spoken a lot about COVID and what the government is doing and how the integrative medicine can help. And I know it has caused a loss of lives and suffering to people and loss of jobs. And I have full compassion for all of that. But I think I also want to talk on the other aspect of Corona, which is its karuna, its compassion. If you see, Corona has brought compassion. It has cleaned all the air pollution. It has the plants, birds, animals are reviving. Earth is more cleaner. People are staying at home. There are even the whole world is on a reboot system. It's a maintenance happening to the whole earth, whole universe. That is the compassion of this corona. And if you see, the total overall deaths are also less. There's less traffic on the road, less road traffic accidents. Elective surgeries all over the world has completely stopped. So the iatrogenic deaths, which we are to be blamed in a way, are also less in number. And people are not trying to go for small nitty-gritty things to the doctors at the moment. So the place looks more peaceful. In regard to human beings also, you see people are realizing that the life is momentary, and anytime they can just leave this planet. So I believe people are internalizing, a lot of people are doing meditation. We have a Ramana ashram and we have a Ramana center in Melbourne. We used to do once a month meditation. Now we are doing 3 times a week, and more people are joining. So I think it is helping in some way. And if you see the other name of Corona, which is again, you can say a coincidence, that in Hanuman Chalisa it says, Kavi Covid ke sake kahate. Covid, the person who knows Vedas, the person who has wisdom of Vedas, and the other name for Corona is COVID. So I believe it brings some wisdom to us, and we can learn from these things, and this suffering can be a blessing in a way to all of us. Now, talking about the inner healing and how the healing occurs, the healing experience should come within first, even for a healer like me. And what I realized after being graduated as a neurologist and practicing in Melbourne since 2013, that the modern medicine does not have answers to most of the problems. And it has to take lead from the ancient sciences. Even in modern medicine, if you see, it's not just the chemical ingested like a form of a tablet is the answer to problem. The answer to the problem is to get healing from that individualistic person who is suffering, and trying to find why he's suffering. What is the issue? And when you go beyond just giving him a tablet, then you understand that in each individual, there are different circumstances causing the disease. And the most important is the stress, their lifestyle. Now, 40 years back, when Ian Goller, who is the pioneer in Australia, who himself suffered from osteosarcoma, was given 1 month to live, and he's still alive, and I still meet him, and he has to lose one of his legs. But then he started doing cancer retreats where people were having spontaneous remissions. They call it spontaneous, but I don't think they were spontaneous. He was teaching meditation, he was teaching healing techniques, vegetarian plant-based diet, having positive belief system, getting rid of your garbage of emotions and pent-up emotions, and strong likes and dislikes, and you clean your garbage in the mind, and you do meditation, you eat good healthy food. So good stuff from your mind, good stuff from your mouth to the body, and the healing occurs, and you give rest to the body, you give relaxation to the body. What happens even in modern medicine? We have beds in hospitals. What happens in bed? We rest, and we have been given some medicines, and then some hope when you believe in the doctor. So in healing, what I have noticed in all my experience as a doctor is that the first and foremost thing, healing comes when the patient has belief that he will get healed, he will get cured, a positive belief in his own self. And then a positive belief in the healer, the doctor, faith in the doctor. When there is a faith in the doctor and the faith in your own individual self, then the healing starts. And even at that level, the other important aspect is to accept the disease first. A lot of people are in denial. Like when I started taking Parkinson retreat programs a few years back, I realized that so many people don't accept the diagnosis. They are ashamed of the diagnosis. They don't tell their relatives. They don't even tell themselves. They try to just escape. And so once you don't accept the diagnosis, how would you heal? How would you get rid of it? And so the healing comes when you accept. So acceptance is a very powerful thing. You accept the diagnosis, and then the healing starts. Then you have a positive intentions, positive belief system. Then you look after your lifestyle, Most of the diseases nowadays are all lifestyle created, We watch movies at night, we sleep late, we have drugs, we have alcohol, and we have tobacco chewing, smoking. We are always indulging in sensual pleasures, watching telly, watching movies. I was talking to a person who is in mid-30s, diagnosed with Parkinson's disease from our neighboring country. And I was talking to him, why don't you relax, do some meditation? He said, I relax. I see 2 movies a day nowadays, So that is what people think, that indulgence in senses relaxes you. But the relaxation comes when you can live with your own self, with your own awareness. People are always looking for others to socialize, or to talk to, or to engage, and they can't never sit still with their own self. When you are so bored with your own self, how do you expect that others should love you or like you when you yourself don't like yourself? And I believe the most important thing in any disease is a lot of anxiety, and then shock and denial, which comes with the disease, which actually hampers the improvement in the disease condition. And that occurs because of one wrong notion that we all are body-mind. None of us is body-mind. Body-mind is with us, within us. We are outside the body, we are inside the body. We are pure awareness. We are Satchidanand. And this one wrong notion creates so much of anxiety, not just about a disease. Even in our day-to-day, we have greed. We want to acquire more money, name, fame, big house, big car, everything for this body, which is with us for maximum 100 years. We were without the body before, and we will be without this body after. And just for a limited time, when this body is given to us to know the bliss of the self, we use this body for selfish desires. So just a simple direct self-inquiry method and contemplation on it can make you detach from this body-mind complex, which you can see that you are. This is like an instrument, like I'm sitting here and there's a laptop in front of me. This laptop is just like this mind, and the room where I'm sitting is like body, but I'm not the laptop and the room. Same is with us. We all are pure, formless awareness, eternal. There's no death to the awareness. Death comes to the body. And the problem is we all think we are body-mind complex, and that's why we are always in stress, in resistance to others. If you see, as a unitary consciousness, we are all the same. Consciousness is never plural. And we are just like the bulbs on an electric wire, and they are all showing their own light, but we are all that current, the underlying current in those bulbs. It's unitary consciousness in all of us. And once you realize, then the selfish desires, anger, hate, strong likes, dislikes, jealousy, all this just vanishes. Just simple notional correction that we are just pure awareness and we are not this body-mind. And when you drop off this fake ego in us, then the healing comes natural, because then you are contented, you are blissful, you are peace. And the natural healing occurs. And then you are not even bothered about the body and mind. Then the negative thoughts of the mind never affects the sun. When the self-effulgent self, which we know, no negative thought can stand in front of it. And most of the diseases in this world are because of negative thoughts and desires and anger and pent-up emotions. And we keep getting one over the above. These concepts, this belief system of what we are and what we want to achieve. And as if you see, the definition of stress is that the resources what we have fall short of what our expectations about us are. So there is a discrepancy. And this discrepancy is a false belief. We are not here to achieve this level or that level or to do this or that. This is all our preconceived ideas or our culture or notion or what the people have told us that we have to do this much. No, we just have to know that you are awareness. That's all our mission is, everyone's. And all these jobs, what we are doing are just our destiny, where we have been brought out, what we have done, what we have studied, and we do a job. So everyone is equal in that sense. We all have to know what we truly are. And once you know, then all these anxiety about doing things and not achieving this just drops away. So I believe for inner healing, this information is very, very important. So you have to sit in contemplation, you have to meditate, you have to understand your internal structure first. Who are you? Nobody asks us who you are. Everyone introduces that you're a doctor, you live in Australia, you do this, you do that. Nobody says who you are. We are pure awareness, all of us. And we are all connected. You know, when you live in a city and someone comes from your own city, let's say, because I was born and brought up in Delhi, someone comes and speaks Hindi and speaks to me that I am in Delhi, or I'll say, oh, I live in West Delhi and you live in there. You know, you find a connection and then you think we are related. But let's say we know that we are all awareness, how good the connection is. We are all the same, formless, exactly the same. Even the twins are different in so many aspects. But as awareness, we are all the same, exactly the same. And that is a very, very important thing. And all your greed, your selfish desires to serve your own ego just drops. And I think there comes the role of spirituality, religion, yoga, or teachings like Bhagwan Shree Ramana Maharishi, which you can imbibe in yourself. It's not that hard. We are all very intellectual person, very intelligent, but we are using our brain in a wrong direction. If we use in this direction, I'll tell you, most of the diseases will disappear. If you ask Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi, he suffered from cancer. And people used to feel sorry when they used to meet him, and they used to say, you have got a cancer, you have got a disease, so sorry to hear. He said, what do you talk about cancer as a disease? This body is a disease. You're carrying this body all the time, and you are talking about the disease. The disease can't have a disease. So if you come to that understanding, then everything just drops. Then you work not for any selfish desires. You work in all your purity, and the healing comes because the doctor has no intention to earn money out of you. And the patient's awareness also gets elevated when he sees the doctor is, in his truest sense, is trying to heal him. He's not after his pocket.
Very true, very true.
And the true healing comes that way.
Yeah, Doctor.
I think you want to say something.
No, I was just picking up those vital aspects which you are mentioning, which is going actually viral. Okay, so I am getting so many inputs over here. Like Corona to Karuna has become a viral now, and rebooting and revival of Mother Nature has become viral. Viral. Cleaning garbage from mind has become a viral. So I totally agree with you that this has to be a holistic approach, and this whole process is to create that. And now we will take up lots of these questions which have come up immediately after this 5-minute synchronized global prayer, which is going on every day between 6 to 6:05. And it's our blessing to have Guruji conducting it today, because this is going across the world. And request Guruji, we are sharp at 6. We are starting the synchronized global prayer. And just to mention to the audience, this will have 3 parts. The part 1 we will have like praying for good life. So through Mahamrutyunjaya mantra. Then part 2, we have 27 rounds of repetition of the chanting of Omkara. And part 3, we have a resolution, a resolve to be repeated in the mind or louder, praying for the well-being of yourself. And in this circumstance of COVID, we are all praying to remain healthy out of Corona. It's sharp 6. Guruji, please take over and conduct the synchronized global prayer.
Thank you, Manjunath. We start with the Mahamrutyunjaya mantra, the mantra which can bring new vitality. Just relax yourself, calm down the mind, ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Now you have about 5 seconds of inhalation followed by 10 seconds of Omkara. And when we repeat the Om, the whole body should resonate, and the resonant wave should move from toes to the head. So let us start. Inhale. The last round. The wonderful resonant waves charging the whole body, purifying the mind. We will now expand our mind by remembering that all pervasive, beautiful blue sky or an ocean. Tune our mind to that infinity. And in that expanded state of awareness, let us have the resolve. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. Let us do it in the mind effectively. With all our collective powers of silence and shanti, we strengthen our immune systems. For the last round. With all our collective powers of silence and shanti, we strengthen our immune systems. And with that strengthened immune system, we build a positive global consciousness field to meet the challenge of the corona spreading everywhere. Let us wish the best health, happiness to everyone by Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all very much for your cooperation. And every day, evening time 6 o'clock, Indian Standard Time, and morning 8 o'clock, we have been conducting this STP for the last 20 days, bringing a big change in our global consciousness field. Thank you all.
I mean, it's definitely to get those lessons from you and to create that collective consciousness which the whole world is looking for. There is a collective consciousness for sure, but a positive resonance is going to change the influence much different, as lots of studies are already done by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in this domain. Guruji, we have lots of questions. I will start with one question, which both of yourself and Acharya David Frawley ji can answer. There's a question on karma theory. So, because it is said that at times suffering is blessing. Okay, so is COVID suffering or suffering at any stage a blessing? And can you please, in brief, narrate the karmic theory which guides this whole questioning?
In the physical world, we have the third law of Newton: action and reaction are equal and opposite. So this taken to the subtle level, when we do good things, then we have a good response from within, and the opposite. So throughout our life, depending on what actions we do, we have corresponding reactions that are set up, and they go as the memory stores in our manomaya kosha. And this, when we leave this body, are continued in our manomaya kosha and others, And when we come back, next birth, these things are brought back to our personality. And there are the three things, the agamic, the sanchita karma, and the prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma is the most difficult and it's the deepest. And we all have to bring out this prarabdha karma in which there is a lot of suffering. But when we have the suffering, we have two options. One, to worry about it more and more, more and more. What a prarabdha karma I have, what I have suffering, I have to do this. Or we have an option, we have got a freedom to think that's a great opportunity for me to change myself, to grow in the right direction. Converting difficulties into opportunities, converting suffering into opportunities is the way of the wise. That is what yoga offers. Therefore, when we have this corona suffering and others, the anxiety suffering, it gives us an opportunity to change ourselves, change the way of life that we are dealing in terms of food, in terms of sleep, in terms of stresses, in terms of all behavioral things that we have. And that if we bring, then we'll be removing the repercussions, and not only that, we overcome the aspects of suffering, but also we'll be able to develop ourselves in the right direction. And that's what we have to do today in this context. Over to Acharya ji.
Yes, we are karmically responsible individually and collectively for who we are and what is the state of our world. When we abrogate that karmic responsibility and act thoughtlessly, we create all kinds of problems individually and collectively. So all of these issues, even this particular coronavirus, is showing our need to be karmically responsible in all that we do, and for everyone and for the entire planet. We must act in accordance with the Dharma, the laws of life, the laws of nature. When we do that, we go beyond the limitations of karma. Now, in Upanishadic thought, disease is said to be a form of tapas. Tapas is a way of purifying the body and the mind. So disease and suffering gives us the opportunity to go beyond and purify, go beyond the outer limitations and our outer karmas. As Guruji has said, karma is what we take with us, but karma is also what we can work with and transform. And suffering is also inherent in life. There was a very interesting question asked to Ramana Maharshi, who is one of our great gurus also, as to why does not God eliminate all suffering and give everybody the realization of God, realization. And Ramana said, because suffering is the way to the realization of God. We must learn to use suffering as a tool for inner growth. Disease also shows us the limitations of the body, the limitations of the physical life. And if we can dive within to the outer, we can enter the world of immortality. And if we look at this entire universe as nothing but waves on the ocean of eternity. So we must be responsible for our karma, but we must learn how to transcend our karma through greater awareness to that Satchidananda, to that deeper bliss, happiness, which is the true nature of all of us. Hari Om.
When Dr. Raghav, so the same question, if it is put in the modern context, so there's a lot of discussions going on with respect to genetics and epigenetics. And we relate a lot of mind-body medicine to epigenetics and many more newer dimensions. So in your view, can you please give an existential explanation for the evidence-based approach to a karmic theory like this?
Yeah, look, if you say what the karmic theory is, you can correlate with the genes or genetic print which we are born with. That is the code of our karmics. And, we have different types of genes. Some genes can give rise to cancer or some other disease, and we are susceptible to some disease because of the defective genes in us. Now, those genes will activate in us when they get the proper environment. And that environment now we understand as epigenetics. And the epigenetics is like the switch on and off button on the genes. So, and this epigenome, which is like, if it is on, then those gene manifestations into a form of a disease or suffering will come, otherwise not. And it's very interesting that these switch on off buttons, which we call as epigenomes, depends on our lifestyle. So if our lifestyle is bad, they will be triggered on. And if your lifestyle is good, they will stay switch off. So you can understand, and look, there's a lot of research going on. It's a very new field. It's only in the last 15 years that epigenetics has come in a big way. And they have also found a very interesting thing, that at the end of the chromosomes, there is a cap known as telomeres. And a lot of research is being done. One of the pioneers is a Nobel laureate. She's from Australia, now living in California. That's what happens with all the famous people. They all move to US. So she did studies on telomeres and found that the lifestyle changes and like even just a couple of hours of meditation for a week can increase the length of the cap, the telomeres. Just for the people who don't understand what telomeres are, the bigger the size of the telomeres, the cap at the end of the chromosomes, it increases your longevity, it improves your health, it improves your well-being. Shorter, it's like you can correlate with aging. So shorter the telomeres, more there are chances that you are closer to death or degeneration or aging. And these studies have found that meditation, correct lifestyles can increase the telomere length. And same comes for these epigenetics, you know, a change in lifestyle, the time you get to bed, time you get up, what you eat, how you think, meditation, exercise, they all are responsible to switch on or off your genes. So in a way, you can sort of correlate that you are born with some prarabdha karma in form of genes. Now, what you do in your life will trigger on and off. One of my uncles used to say that, you know, maybe in your karmic account, you have to have an accident. So the accident can be just a small thorn piercing in your finger, or it could be a accident, vehicle accident or something like that, you know. So you are still getting an accident, but the accident can be small or can be big. Depends how you lead your life. And you can always increase your balance of good karmic accounts, doing good stuff, you know.
So according to you, there is a way to understand and correlate even in the present day modern medical language. So whether you want to understand the puristic karma or you want to understand its imprints in the physical body, we can actually evaluate and make an understanding out of it, is what you said. And also lots of studies, whatever have been done on meditation, on other healing systems, including traditional Chinese medicine, it has been made very clear that the healing from within can be made much more effective when you start working at a subtle level. So that is very true to all the fields, whatever we are talking about. To Acharya David Frawley ji, there is one more question, which is about Ayurveda. Today, Ayurveda has been brought down to similar to allopathy, only by prescribing medicines. So can you please explain, is medicines all that important in the treatment of any ailment, or it is little more than that? So in Ayurveda, Acharya ji.
Yes, traditional Ayurveda has always emphasized lifestyle, behavioral changes, dinacharya, ritucharya, all this dharmic living. And traditional Ayurveda is not just a healing for the body, it's also a healing for the mind. Mental diseases also come in under Ayurveda. And for that, Ayurveda uses a lot of the yoga therapy, pranayama, mantra, meditation. as well as special herbs and special practices for the mind and mental healing, reducing the doshas, reducing rajas and tamas and all of that. And Ayurveda also recognizes the ultimate need for spiritual healing and spiritual well-being and going beyond spiritual suffering, which is the suffering born of ignorance, which is the suffering born of lack of connection to our true self. So an integral, holistic application of Ayurveda includes yoga, it includes Vedanta, meditation traditions, it includes behavioral medicine, and even something like Jyotish. The Jyotish, the Vedic astrology, shows your karmic DNA, shows the karmas and samskaras that you have to work with. So in other words, we have to use all these systems together, and then we get a complete form of treatment. And the medicines are there, but the medicines only work with diet, lifestyle, exercise, all this daily seasonal changes, harmony with constitution. And doshas have higher energies. There's a deeper prana behind Vata dosha. That's a powerful healing force, our inner prana. There's a higher Agni or Tejas behind Pitta, connects us to ultimately to Agni of prana, Agni of mind, Agni of consciousness. And Ojas connects us to, from essence of Kapha all the way to Amrit, Ananda. So it is all connected there. And we need to bring back this entire integral Vedic, Dharmic healing system that brings all these systems together with the best in modern medicine, the best in yoga, Ayurveda. We need evidence, but the ultimate evidence is how we live, how happy we are, the state of our world, our collective, as we say, karmic responsibility, and our embracing of the overall universal consciousness. Let us heal the earth. Let us also heal ourselves, heal humanity, and recognize that we live in a beneficent universe for which healing is there for everyone if we are open to nature and open to our inner being. Hari Om.
I think there were many people asking the similar question. I can see a lot of thumbs up coming, suggesting that they were expecting this kind of a comprehensive approach to be the trump card of Ayurveda, not just using medicines, is what people were really troubled with. And Guruji, there is another question for you. Somebody wants to know that is there one yoga technique through which I can start that process of healing from within? So which is that one yoga technique?
Many people have asked me that give me one technique, one method of yoga by which you get the maximum benefit. And I say it is called Santosha, one of the niyamas. Be happy all the time, irrespective of what you encounter. Patanjali says, Santoshat anuttama sukhalabha. Unparalleled bliss is going to come when you have Santosha. But it is easily said than done. You have to maintain the composure, the balance, and the inner happiness. This can all happen when we tune ourselves to this inner, infinite, pure consciousness. Yogastaha kuru karmadi. If you tune ourselves to Anandamaya Kosha, then it becomes possible. So, whether we do asanas or pranayama or mudras or bandhas or kriyas or meditation, in all these things, this aspect of tuning ourselves to that infinite is the most important. As Patanjali emphasized, Ananta Samapatti, tuning to the Anantata is the key essence. So when we start doing asanas, we should not just live at the physical level. Sthirata is necessary. Then we should go into Chira, staying longer and longer in the asana, and then tuning our mind to that infinite. By the two things that he said, Prayatna Shaitanya and Ananta Samapatti. And this can be done anywhere, and that is the whole dimension. And that's what I say always, that Santosha is the key essence. Some people are built with this dimension. Always they are keeping smiling and then happy and bringing the fragrance of love and bliss and service to everybody. But some people are opposite built. And that's where the karma comes into picture. And rightly pointed out by Sanjay, it is all manifested in epigenetics and the form of gene expressions and the gene structure. People thought for a long time that gene cannot be changed. But over last 20 years before, it was said, yes, genes cannot be changed, gene structure cannot be changed, but gene expressions can be changed. But later on, over the last 2 years, it has been said, yes, even the gene structure can be changed. We all have the power of freedom to change these things. And therefore, yoga is the process of using that freedom to be happy all the time. And santosha is the key essence. That is one thing that I would always say is the best, one single thing by which yoga can be practiced. And this one we see in our Rakesh Kumar and many other masters, always smiling with full of energy, vitality, and organization power and service attitude. I congratulate all such great people who have been in tune with that Santosha, the Anandamaya Kosha. Thank you all.
Guruji, you have easy, simple way, which reminds us of the Upanishadic Guru Shishya conversation, where student asked the teacher that knowing that which I will know everything, give me that vidya. So you have given us a technique, knowing that we will know everything and we will enjoy everything. But probably there are questions pouring in to say that it's wonderful, Guruji. Today I got the realization, but please teach me how to remain in the state of contentment. So I won't go into the details of them. We are coming to the last part of our webinar. I know there are so many questions. There are 70 questions posed. I have just picked randomly. And I would like to request each of the panelists to give your take-home message in just around 30 seconds to 1 minute time. So start from Sanjay Raghav.
Look, my message as a doctor, as a healer, is that if you change your lifestyle and have some patience and use an integrative approach, I'm not saying that you should just do meditation and the disease will leave your system. You take your medicines, you follow the Western medicine, but you also follow a good lifestyle, do meditation, do yoga, follow a plant-based diet, which is the most beneficial in health and even in disease. And then this integrative approach will bring you santosha also and good health.
Thank you. Thank you. But certainly, Dr. Sanjay, your messages will be remembered, particularly Corona to Karuna. Okay, the revival of the mind-body medicine is the future. Guruji, I will take you to the as the last panelist. Acharya ji, please, can you give us a take-home message for all the viewers?
Yes, we must recognize that with this current disease pandemic we have, shows the greater need and relevance of all the Ayush systems, of yoga and Ayurveda particularly. They are more important for the future. They must be brought more into the integration of medicine for strengthening immunity, all this behavioral epigenetics, it is said, for bringing about the deeper unfoldment of healing within. So we must embrace these systems, study them more, go to all these schools, S-VYASA, all the Ayurvedic schools, spread the message of yoga, Ayurveda, all the Ayush systems. It's a tremendous opportunity to bring out this wisdom. We certainly honor the need for the acute medicine that's necessary to deal with the hospital conditions today, but for the long-term healing of humanity and the planet, the medicine of the coming century is this Ayush integration of yoga, Ayurveda, all the natural systems. Please study, take it up, share it in your daily life, use it for your own self-healing, but we need to project this great healing systems of Ayush and all the Dharmic traditions and their deeper spirituality, centered in yoga, I would say, for the benefit of humanity. And then we can deal with all these pandemics and we can go beyond them, and we can also use our information and technology to develop a higher awareness rather than to just disturb our nervous system as tends to be happening today. So may that Ananda and Sukha and Santosha be with all. Hari Om.
Thank you, Acharya ji. Guruji, you have to give that key essence as well as the take-home message to all our participants today, giving that important aspect which can help them to understand the healing from within.
I believe in the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, who said, combine the best of the East with the best of the West. Modern scientific research to be combined with the wonderful Indian wisdom base that we have. While we look at the entire physical world in dealing with science and its understanding, we go beyond the physical to understand what is beyond, like prana, the mind, the emotions, intellect, and beyond everything, the consciousness. And we have to take into consideration the totality, and that is the one that can heal us. That's the power that we have inside, and our original state from where all of us are born. Our original state from where the whole creation has been created is the Brahman, or the self, or Parama Atman. And that is a state of infinite power, infinite bliss, infinite freedom, infinite knowledge. And that's our original state. So Swami Vivekananda said each soul is potentially divine. The goal of life is to manifest that divinity and to be rid of the diseases, whether it's NCDs or the infectious and coronal diseases, is one aspect. But to be happier day by day is the most important thing. And tune to that santosha, having higher and higher santosha, by, as rightly said by David, that we have to grow to the higher levels of consciousness to bring the higher levels of bliss is the most essential thing. So for that, we have to calm down the mind, silence the mind, tranquil the mind, and go deeper and deeper and understand the deeper realms of the higher levels of consciousness and the power that's available to us. And this is the thing that we have to take. Therefore, we have to bring it into practical things. Habits die hard. To change habits are very difficult. For that, we have to do the practices. So we developed in the present context of COVID that very simple practice of 10 to 15 minutes to be repeatedly doing 4 times, 6 times, 8 times. If they do that, then the habits change and we enter into the new lifestyle of harmony, peace, love, happiness, and health, and better health towards perfect health. And that is the one that we have to practice and bring about the dimension. And in the S-VYASA University, we have started now various programs through this online and ODL mode, in which we are bringing the essence of Upanishad. Every day morning, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, I have been talking about the Upanishads as part of the Vedic wisdom base. And later on, we are going to talk about various dimensions of our yoga things. This and many top experts in our university are bringing out their wisdom base in the crucial period of present crisis. And rightly, Rakesh has organized this webinar. Very, very useful. Once again, thank you very much for this thing and bringing a big community who are able to get this new dimension, which is very necessary. No doubt, the modern medical system is very important, very necessary, very useful. At the same time, it cannot give the total solution. We have to add on the dimensions of the Ayush wisdom base, that is a paradigm shift to move from the matter-based paradigm to consciousness-based paradigm is the key essence. And once again, with love and happiness to everyone who have attended this webinar, I offer my prayers to see that everybody keep up their health, very strong immune system, and see that they will never succumb to the corona. And if they get succumb to that, please use the yoga techniques to see that they ward it off and come back to normalcy the soonest, as many people have started doing. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Available in our website. You can go there and see them.
It will be, I mean, the discussion can go on because it's such an interesting area to understand more and more. We had 3 such great personalities today. We have brought 3 time zones of the world today together, and we couldn't have asked for anything better than Acharya ji talking about Ayurveda and Vedanta, Guruji talking about yoga, and Sanjay Raghav ji bringing the mind-body medicine and the modern perspective of medicine to the platform today. We are already overshooting the day's session. I request Rakesh ji to just give his concluding remarks to close today's webinar.
Thank you very much, Manjunath ji. You have moderated the session very well. In fact, it is a really amazing session. So many applauds are coming in the messages also. We could never imagine that the session, a very simple subject of the healing within, that could cover so many dimensions of the life and so many aspects of the subject. In fact, the biggest takeaway from the session is the Santosha. And I think if all of us just believe on that and do that, it is going to be the great healing within. I thank, first of all, our Param Pujaniya Guruji for being with us, inspiring us, and always being with us. I also thank Acharya ji today. In fact, he has given us a lot of different dimension of Ayurveda, and also our Dr. Sanjay Raghav ji, who has joined us from all the way from Australia. Thank you very much, all of you. And also I thank team Ayuryog Expo, Parveen Prabhakar ji, our Tushar ji, Niranjan ji, Sudeep Sarkar ji, and the entire advisory committee of the Ayuryog Expo, along with the team of S-VYASA, who has also helped us in today's session. And the prayer that we had today, I think that was another main subject of the today program, and all of us are greatly benefited with that. Thank you very much again. Thank you. Hari Om.
We will close the session praying for the well-being of the whole universe. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. You can join from your places. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukhabad bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thanking all the participants, thanking all the panelists, thanking the organizers. You all gave us an opportunity. Let us meet again on next Saturday with yet another important topic for discussion. Thank you again. Have a great morning, evening, and great day wherever you are. Thank you.